Coming over here to my alpha team, the second part of the equation is movement. When I touch the left thumbstick with no other cursor activated, it automatically opens this, what we call an action cursor. And I move it around with the left thumbstick on the terrain, and you'll notice that the camera is smart enough to keep that in focus. I am only operating this cursor and camera with one thumb control. That is it. All I'm doing is I'm giving them a position on the terrain where I want them to go as if I were pointing. And then with pressing one button again, the action button, I'm telling them to go there. And they will move there at their own pace as fast as they can and assume a doctrinally correct formation for open terrain, which is called a wedge or a V. You'll also notice that each man in the formation is actively searching for enemies. You'll also notice that the man to the far left, the rifleman of this formation, is not looking where the man to the far right, the automatic rifleman, is looking. That's calling crossing your fields of fire. That's incorrect procedure, and that is not what a professional soldier does. They're all responsible for their own sector in this formation. Where they look is determined by who they are and where they are in the formation. So as I move the cursor out into the world, you'll also notice that it's contact sensitive. So when I touch, say for instance, this building, it changes the order to wall, from V or wedge to wall. And you'll also notice that the center circle, the yellow dot, that's where my team leader goes. It's very important that I know that at all times. As I move this up along the wall, you'll notice that the formation changes automatically to corner formation as soon as it touches the corner. So with one button press, again, all I'm doing is I'm telling them to go to the corner and assume a corner formation. It's that simple. When they get to the corner, the team leader will automatically check that corner and report back to me if he sees anything. That corner is clear, so I'm free to proceed to move Bravo team up to the next corner. What I want you to notice is that the yellow dot indicating where my team leader is in this formation at the corner, he's in the rear position. By simply adjusting the cursor, I can move him to the front position of this formation. There isn't any menus. I don't have to go through a bunch of button presses. All formation variation is handled through subtle differences in the cursor on the terrain. And then all I do is press the A button to send them there. Although this time I'm going to hold the A button. All orders have a press and hold function. So if I hold the button, I'm telling them to move in a special way. It's called bounding. They move 2 by 2 with 2 men moving, always looking for enemies, 2 men covering. When the team gets there, they'll automatically check the corner and call for the second team to join them. Okay, this man comes under fire, signals that he has one enemy. You'll notice that they do not engage in the target until I clear them to fire. I check and make sure that there aren't any civilians in my line of fire, and I say, Bravo, you are clear to fire that quickly. You'll notice how they reorient themselves and get into a position where they can engage that target. You'll notice that they use the corner. Unfortunately, the enemy also uses the corner when he fires at them. This enemy is in a very bad position for me to take him out. He's got the corner and the car is covered. So I'm going to move back to my alpha team, and I'm going to use them to flank around to this position in the mosque. That's why I have 2 teams.
Wait for the reload, Alpha.
Looks like I have a good angle on that target, so I'm going to quickly clear Alpha to fire.
That guy down. All clear.
Checks the corner. It's all clear. What you just saw was a successful flanking maneuver. That is what that's called in the Army.